I'm the big man, attorney Joey Franks from Big Man Law here in Jackson, Mississippi. We're at Judge Simpson today, and I've got a good one for you. This is right up my alley. I do a lot of DUI defense, and I see a lot of drug charges. So this one is a fun one. Has to do with cocaine. Spoiler alert, she pops hot. After hearing it, I want to know how you would get out of this. Leave it in the comments below. Might use it for my next legal argument in the courthouse. In the meantime, here we go.
And we had, certainly there were the issues in terms of what she said over at community corrections. There are all those things, and you have cocaine showing up in her system. And that was on June 4th that we were here, and she admitted to the violations. And I had revoked her bond at that time. Ultimately, she got out. On the 18th, this is June. I adjourned it to July 16th today, or July 16th, and her bond was continued, and she was to continue her testing. And then ultimately from the 18th, it gets from July 16th, it gets adjourned to today. Starting in mid-June, or the end of June, June 30th. Well, I'm gonna start mid-June. June 18th, positive for cocaine. June 30th, positive for cocaine. July 8th, positive for cocaine. July 16th, cocaine does not show up. I'm presuming she's supposed to be on the benzos and opiates, but and if it had started to head that way, we'd be fine, except that the next week, well, 5 days out, she's positive for cocaine again.
She says she's not using cocaine. She says that the tests are incorrect. She's gotten the tests since then, and it was negative. She wants the court to know that.
Where?
At community corrections.
She's done a test since when?
7/31, her test was negative.
Today.
And she said she tested today.
Right, right. But the test before then was not.
I really don't know what's going on with that test.
You're using cocaine. That's what's going on. I mean, I don't. I just don't know who you think you're fooling.
I took 2 more tests. I don't know what's going on. They didn't even give me the test results for today. She got the other one for the 30th. That's the only test that showed up right after I went to court here.
What?
After I came in on the 16th.
When I revoked your bond, that was mid-June. I just read off every test since mid-June. And virtually every test, you're positive for cocaine.
It takes a while for it to come out your system. And I have bad.
Okay, let's assume that's correct, and it's not. But let's assume that that's correct. Then the cold-hearted reality is that when it was supposedly out of your system on July 16th, we should have not seen cocaine again. Yet on July 21st, I have cocaine again.
But that's what I'm saying. In the other night.
I'm not putting up with it. You're gonna have to figure it all.
I have not been doing.
Absolutely. You have just decided that you want to use when you want.
What about today's test and the other tests?
What about the positive test?
I don't know how it got there.
I do want to say on behalf of Ms. Beaver, she is engaged in CCOP at community corrections. Through CCOP, she is attending AA meetings as well. She did provide me with an attendance sheet. She's going multiple times a week. Her last test being twice on the 30th. Is this also a test too?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Her last AA meeting being the August 1st. So she is engage in treatment and AA. I'd ask the court
Does she
consider.
have a prescription even for the opiates?
Yes, I do.
I believe she did give the prescription for the benzos and the opiates to
That's what I thought, but
community corrections.
it's not necessarily my concern. I mean, it's a cold-hearted reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Critical system.
9. The last 9 tests, 7 have been positive for cocaine.
But that's when I first got arrested. And it takes a while to come out your system. I did jail time. I was in jail for 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. I put you.
And it was still in my system.
No, you weren't testing while you were in jail.
When I got out,
I know.
but
It showed up. Why do you think it just showed up? Because you used.
I have 2 half of kidneys. I had kidney cancer. It takes a while to come out your system.
So you want to explain how it comes out of your system and then back in your system and then?
I tried to get that test done over. They said it was too late to do it over. I don't understand how one test comes out and the rest is negative.
Because you're using. Your Honor, I'd ask you to consider keeping Ms. Beaver's bond the same and having her continue to go to CCOP. In the alternative, if she is remanded to the jail, would Your Honor consider releasing her to inpatient?
I would consider release to inpatient treatment. She needs some kind of help because she can't even be truthful with herself. And at this point, bonds revoked. Defendant's remanded. We'll see you on September 3rd. I'm done.
Ms. Beavers, I think, would like to request a hearing on the test results and the bond violation.
You can have a hearing on the 3rd. It's my next available day.
All right, so this lady, 7 out of 9. That'd be a personal record for my clients. I've never had a client that popped hot 7 out of 9 times. So impressive in one sense, and sucks to be hurt in another sense. Don't know what you do as the attorney here. You don't have a lot of good options. I can count on one hand the number of clients I've had that showed up to a courthouse when the judge said, if you could take a drug test and be clean and get the deal of a lifetime. I can count on one hand the number of them that would actually pass. One guy said he did it, he could do it. And man, when I tell you he popped hot for meth, booze, and I think it was Oxy or something else. Man, they're going to see that. They're going to know it. And this lady's argument that it stays in your system a long time, for those of you that aren't very familiar with drugs and how long they stay in your system, cocaine is one of the quicker ones to work its way out. Less than 5 days is going to be the general rule of thumb, unless they're doing a hair follicle test. Doing a hair follicle test, it'd be longer than that. But since she's got the negative test in there, I don't think they're doing hair follicle tests by the sounds of it. Also, she's got a bond. This is a revocation. She's getting revoked. You know, if this was Madison or Rankin County here in Mississippi and they revoke your bond, you're there until your trial date. They're not going to give you another bite at the apple. And Judge Simpson does her a solid. He says that she can go to inpatient. And I've done that before, where you go and literally they walk out of the jail, they get into a car, and they're driven straight to a facility. It's a great option for her. Hope it works out well for her. Hope it worked out well for her based on the dates in the video. But in any event, it's what we're looking at here. Don't know a lot more that the attorney could do. Sometimes you just got to work with the facts that are there in front of you. I enjoyed making this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you let me know how you would get out of this so that I can use it for my next great Clarence Darrow moment. Appreciate it. Had fun.